So imagine yourself gambling, but instead of using poker chips, you are using your spiritual energy as chips. Let's call these spirit chips. The more spirit that is accumulated, the more wise and grounded the person becomes. It empowers both so-called negative or positive people. When someone gambles, there's a risk involved. With that risk comes gain and loss as well. When you gamble, the idea is to bet a certain amount in hopes of gaining more back. If we try to go all in, so to speak, it could send you on a journey of misery, pain, and suffering. We are all spiritual gamblers, whether it is unintentional or intentional. So what kind of spiritual gambler are you? Are you the kind that is ambivalent about life's choices, trials, and tribulations? Are you the type to gain chips by bluffing or manipulating people to your own end? Or are you the kind that is willing to are you the kind that is willing to reap the wisdom of losing chips to gain them back and more? The former is unfortunately a dead end, and the latter is ideal, but the bluffers are, a different story. In this realm of existence, the power is in choosing to use your chips for personal gain or to bet wisely to gain more than you put in. To the ambivalent players that have not chosen, will unconsciously bet chips to their own detriment until they are desperate enough to make that choice. In their time of desperation, when their soul is stripped to a few measly chips, what will they decide? They could unfortunately remain in a state of ambivalence indefinitely and gain and lose very little. Or they could have a spiritual revelation to guide them in the direction of serving the self or reap the wisdom of negative experiences to be of service to others. So imagine playing a poker game with these spirit chips. The bluffers are at the table to vampire chips off of unsuspecting players. Even the wiser players are subject to losing chips when their hand has dealt them an unexpected fate. When the bluffers push the ambivalent players to their limits, as in a few chips, they can decide to either come up with a new strategy to gain those chips back, or stay the way they are in a state of existential pain and misery. The ones that decide to reap the wisdom of their personal experiences at the cosmic poker table and chose to serve others are already at a different level of skill. They are sympathetic to their cause. Let's call them the compassionate players. When the ambivalent players are bleeding chips, the compassionate players will try to assist, sometimes to their own detriment. They may assist by giving them new strategies or even offering their own chips. Even though a noble gesture, they still lack the wisdom and foresight to see that at times it may be wiser to accommodate them in a way it won't be to their own detriment. Being a martyr poker player may have its good intentions, but it gambles your own chips at the betterment of another person. The pro players or wise players can strategize to assist other players with minimal chip sacrifice and optimize chip increase in not only themselves, but the ones they are assisting. The undecided players may or may not want to benefit from the help. Even if they accept the help, there isn't a guarantee that they will use this information properly and appropriately. The wise players will assist to the best of their ability without infringing on free will. The wise bluffers dare to challenge a wise player. They would rather siphon chips off of less experienced players. In this cosmic poker table, intricately woven into the free will and spiritual growth of all human beings, there is a complex relationship among all its participants. Whether you are an ambivalent player, a bluffer, a compassionate player, a wise bluffer, or a wise player, every player plays its part. The bluffer may be considered They are the players that raise the stakes in the cosmic poker table. Without these so-called negative players, the hands would be child's play and there wouldn't be any real challenge. If given the opportunity, would you accept an infinite amount of spirit chips? What wisdom or knowledge would be gained if you'd accept it? The hands would seem trivial since you have unlimited spirit at your disposal. Gaining or losing spirit would be meaningless due to your infinite supply of it. You'd probably grow weary of cheating the game and start with a limited supply to play with, opposed to unlimited supply. Would it be more beneficial to bet a great deal of your spirit or small amounts at a time? How you play the hand that is dealt and the relationship with the other players determines how much is gambled. The value of spirit is likened to a huge bet in which the payout is a peak spiritual experience. The payout is the revelation of a core issue or issues in your life. It begs the question, would making wise bets from the beginning have more spiritual value than the catalyzing ultimatums that lead to a significant payout? When the bets are placed and the cards are down, how will you utilize spirit? Perhaps the focus is the experiences, and gaining spirit is the means to find value in those experiences. As a spiritual gambler, what would you like to take away from the cosmic poker table? So this is Psychnaut, where subjects such as psychology, the human psyche, and psychedelic-like information coalesce. And remember to continue to explore the inner universe that is yourself. Until next time, my Psychnauts, I hope you enjoyed the video.